The visual beauty of this place has generated from very early on ideas of needing to figure out a way to protect this.
It's just magical. It's something that people are drawn to.
A local land use plan may or may not include some description of short-term rentals.
There is such wise and well thought out language in the land use plan.
There's land use, and then there are jurisdiction ordinances or regulations. Those ordinances or regulations are meant to be consistent with the land use plan.
I know there's been controversy about it. I didn't know if it is legal or not legal.
It is illegal for a very, very good reason.
They started with a preconceived idea that short-term rentals were prohibited in the coastal area of the county, and so they dug through existing ordinances that said nothing about short-term rentals, but interpreted some of the language of existing ordinances or regulations to come up with the conclusion that short-term rentals are prohibited in the coastal region.
The coastal area of BIGSUR is subject to specific and in some cases interesting and in some cases unique regulation. There are regulations that govern how you are developing, and how your development impacts or does not impact traffic.
It's a road where you really have to be aware and pay attention and respect it.
Yeah. We can only develop 300 destination points on the coast since 1986. I wouldn't mind having an extra income. I happen to really enjoy hosting guests. I don't do it because I don't want to play into this idea of commercializing our neighborhoods and congesting the highway.
It could be a benefit because it does get people into the community.
There's also the aspect of county revenue, and that is collection of transient occupancy tax from short-term rentals can be an additional source of revenue, a big additional source for the county or the cities, depending on the jurisdiction.
Like if the taxes would go to kind of help improve the roads, that would be beneficial.
We as a organization, the Alliance, strongly encourage people to pay the transient occupancy tax. It is the law. There is no question about the requirement for anybody doing rentals shorter than 30 days that the revenue they get from that is taxable revenue at the rate of 10.5% for the county.
It seems, on the face of it, a rather absurd situation that the county with one hand charges and with the other hand condemns the actual activity.
Because the tax collector is a completely different department in the county than the planning code enforcement department. And the two of them don't seem to work together too well.
I've seen a huge influx of tourism, cars on the road.
We are eroding the very values that people come here for are being eroded by and threatened by this extraordinary commercialization that's happening.
Our guests come to the home. They go out to the local restaurants, the wineries, to the aquarium, to the gas stations, to the supermarkets. They spend heavily. Studies have shown that for every $1 of rent they pay for the use of a vacation rental, they pay $3 to the local economy in terms of goods and services.
We have quite a few different microclimates in a short span of the coastline.
And they don't know about the fire situation, they don't know about the water, the peculiarities regarding utilities here, or the way we handle our roads.
They don't respect the roads, they don't necessarily have the proper cars for some of the roads, and I don't know if they're respecting the ruralness and the beauty of what BIGSUR is.
There are some very, very serious conflicts between especially people who've lived here for a long time that are seeing their neighborhoods being destroyed by this, as they see it, pernicious activity.
There is no need to describe an actual nuisance, but rather simply establishing that somebody next door is doing a short-term rental, which the county interprets to be illegal, that is then the basis for the county citing the owner.
That we have to recognize, for the sake of the coast and our culture here, we have to keep it illegal.
Anybody that I tell that I live in Big Sur, they're just like, oh my goodness.
Right.
Wow.
We're trying to maximize the amount of people that can enjoy this coast.
So if they could come up with some new laws or policies and start there, and then if those don't work, then maybe shrink it down even more. I think a happy medium is always better.
The county is in the throes of trying to figure out how to rewrite the ordinance for some other parts of the county as well. And that we are just now doing our campaign so as to make it totally clear to everyone that certainly in the Big Sur planning area, short-term rentals should remain illegal.
It's best if it is permitted and regulated than if it's unpermitted and done underground.